Namaste. Warm welcome to all. I welcome you all for International Symposium on Yoga and Alternative Medicine to combat COVID-19 on occasion of International Day of Yoga organized by Crescent University. I also congratulate Dr. Hemalata, Professor and Dean of School of Life Sciences, Crescent University, and coordinators for organizing this event, and I also thank them for giving opportunity to explore myself. I welcome you all for this session. So today we are going to talk about the role of integrated approach of yoga therapy and naturopathic intervention in combating COVID-19 pandemic. Myself, Dr. Parameshwar, Assistant Professor, Government Nature Cure and Yoga Medical College, Mysore. So in this topic today we are going to see about what is yoga, what is COVID-19, and what are the aims and objectives of yoga and other alternative medicines in preventing COVID-19 infections. So what is integrated approach of yoga therapy, and also we are going to see about what are the natural methods to combat COVID-19 infections. So now the definition of yoga. What is yoga? We should know what is yoga first. So people say it is an exercise or it is some other physical activity. No, it is not a physical activity or doing without awareness of breathing. So but in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna defines yoga as a samatvam yoga uchyate. It is a balanced state. So that is samatva means balanced state. Uchyate means said to be. So yoga is said to be a balanced state. So yoga is a balanced state of body and mind. So body and mind is very important. So the balanced state of body and mind, emotions, thoughts and intellect, behavior. So all these should be in equilibrium. So when we are excited in the situation of pleasure and we become sad when it is a negative situation. So yoga is to be maintain equilibrium of the mind in any situations. So what is yoga? To maintain equilibrium in any situations, not only happy or sad. So when you are happy and when you are sad, you should take it as a one. So in happy you should be in pleasure situations you will be more happy, and in negative situations you will go for depression. So that should not be there. So when we do yoga, it is said to be a maintain equilibrium of the mind in any situation. This equanimity of mind is the ultimate objective of yoga. So the ultimate objective of yoga is to be equanimity of mind. So that we should understand here, yoga is a balanced state of body and mind, emotions, thoughts and intellect and behavior. So next, what are the effects on respiratory system when you do yoga? So the respiratory rate decreases in case of infections. In case of lung infections, the respiratory rate increases. So that will lead to respiratory distress. You cannot complete your respiratory cycle. So when you practice yoga, the respiratory rate decreases. Tidal volume increases. Tidal volume means it is the amount of air which moves in and out in one respiratory cycle. So when you inhale, air will go inside, and when you exhale, air will come out. So that is tidal volume increase. That is one respiratory cycle. So this tidal volume will become increases. Next, vital capacity increases. What is vital capacity? It is a amount of air which is exhaled after maximum inhalation. It is the amount of air exhaled after maximum inhalation. So breath holding time will increases. When you do pranayama, we are going to hold breath. Okay, so that is breath holding capacity will increases, and also breath holding time will increases. So maximum breathing capacity will increases. So maximum breathing capacity, when you can complete one respiratory cycle with complete inhalation and deep inhalation and complete exhalation, so that respiratory efficiency will increases and respiration become more smooth. So the mechanism here is parasympathetic nervous system dominance with decrease in sympathetic activity. So this is the effects on respiratory system when you perform yoga. So now what is naturopathy? You should know. So I am going to talk about yoga therapy and naturopathic intervention. So we should know both. What is yoga and what is naturopathy? I said yoga is a balanced state of mind, body, thoughts, and behavior. But now what is naturopathy? Most of them don't know. So nature cure believes that all the disease arises due to accumulation of morbid matter inside the body. So when there is foreign matter enters into our body and accumulate in our body, it will cause disease. So that is the main cause for the disease, that is accumulation of morbid matter inside the body. So what nature cure will do? It believes that the human body possesses inherent self-constructing and self-healing powers. So self-healing powers. So we have, everyone is having immunity and self-healing power, self-constructing and self-healing power. So when there is foreign body enters into our body, so there will be infection. So when foreign body enters, the immune system in our body will fight against that infection or any foreign bodies and try to deal with that infections. So when our immunity is proper, when our immunity is strong, when our self constructing and self healing powers are strong, we won't get such type of infections. So what are the types of therapies which are used in nature cure? That is acupuncture, that is inserting specific needles or specific point, that is acupuncture, which play a main role in improving immunity. And hydrotherapy, so hydrotherapy means it is a treatment where we use water in different temperature. Mud therapy, we use mud, various types of mud in treating various diseases. And diet therapy is very very important in preventing COVID-19 infections. That is, maybe we should take vitamin C, vitamin D, and also zinc. So also spices which are used to combat COVID-19 infections. So nature cure mainly the concept of Pancha Mahabhutas, that is earth, air, water, fire, and space. So these are the natural resources which are available in nature. So by using that natural resources, we are going to treat the diseases. That is called as naturopathy. So now what is COVID-19? So everyone knows about COVID-19. I don't want to explain so much on COVID-19. So these are the large family of viruses that causes common cold to severe diseases such as Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, that is MERS, SARS. Now this is a new strain, that is novel coronavirus, that has been previously identified in human. So incubation period of COVID-19 is about 2 days to 2 weeks, and recovery time is about 15 days to 4 weeks. And what are the signs and symptoms of this COVID-19? So fever, cough, myalgia or fatigue, shortness of breath, that is breathlessness. So all these are the signs and symptoms of COVID-19. So less commonly reported respiratory symptoms are sore throat, headache, cough with sputum production, and also hemoptysis. So this is the COVID-19 small brief introduction about COVID-19. So incubation period is about 2 days to 2 weeks, and recovery time is about 15 days to 4 weeks. So these are the signs and symptoms. So next we will see what is integrated approach of yoga therapy. So integrated approach of yoga therapy includes practices of asana, pranayama, kriyas, and meditations and lectures on yoga, maybe bhajans. So all these approach towards infection will help in mental stability of a patient. So most of the patient will be suffering from stress, anxiety, and depression due to COVID-19 infections. So this integrated approach of yoga therapy will act on body, mind, and emotional status of a patient. So all these are very important. So yoga, asana, pranayama, cleansing techniques, that is kriya, meditation and lectures on yoga, and ethical lifestyle. Yoga teaches you a lifestyle, what you should eat, what you should not eat. So when you should do yoga. So yoga is very important here. So it teaches you a lifestyle. Also it teaches you non-violence, ahimsa, truthfulness, that is satya, and detachment, that is pratyahara, which cultivate the body and mind. So the integrated approach of yoga therapy includes asana, pranayama, kriyas, maybe meditations and lectures on yoga, which cultivate the body and mind. So naturopathy I have already explained. So now we'll move on to which are the five koshas in our body. So maybe Annamaya kosha, first one, physical body. This is called as physical body. So the holistic approach or the integrated approach includes all these treatments here. So in Annamaya kosha, that is physical body. In Pranamaya kosha, that is energy body. Manomaya kosha, that is emotion, that is manas. Vijnanamaya kosha, that is wisdom body, the knowledge about disease, Anandamaya kosha, at last we should have a bliss, that is bliss, state of bliss is called as Anandamaya kosha. So these are the five layers of the self, that is called as five koshas, which related to various aspects. That is Annamaya kosha, which is related to physical body, Pranamaya, energy body, Manomaya, emotional body, Vijnanamaya, wisdom body, and Anandamaya is bliss body. So what are the aims and objectives of this yoga and other alternative medicines? Mainly to improve pulmonary function and lung capacity. So main important thing is to improve our pulmonary function and lung capacity. So I said you an effects on respiratory system. What are the effects on respiratory system when you perform yoga? I told respiratory rate decreases, tidal capacity, about vital capacity. I told you all in effects. That is to improve pulmonary function and lung capacity, and also to reduce stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety is one of the main factor who COVID-19 patients are suffering from. So stress, anxiety, depression, they are going under stress, anxiety and depression. So to improve mucociliary clearance. What is mucociliary clearance? Self-clearing mechanism which removes inhaled particles including pathogens. So this is a self-clearing mechanism. When you inhale some foreign bodies, that is maybe pathogens, it helps in removing inhaled particles, that is called as self-clearing mechanism, that is mucociliary clearance. So these are the three important aims and objectives of this yoga and other alternative medicine on COVID-19. So that is the three aims and objectives. Next we should see what is pranayamaya kosha. So this kosha, in this includes operation at the pranic level. Prana means energy. So the energy which is having in our body, the energy flowing in our body. The main practices, which are the practices will be done under this pranamaya kosha. Maybe breathing practices, pranayamas. These are the two important. Pranayamas will come under pranamaya kosha. Which are the breathing exercises? Hand stretch breathing, hands in and out breathing, cat and camel breathing, tiger breathing, rabbit breathing. So these are the different types of breathing techniques which helps in improving lung capacity. Pranayamas, all the pranayamas are more effective in maintaining the respiratory health. So few specific pranayamas include, so Bhastrika pranayama, Brahmari, Nadi Shodhana pranayama. So Nadi Shodhana is one of the best pranayama for all the respiratory problems. So these are the breathing exercises and pranayamas which will be done under pranamaya kosha. Next, what is manomaya kosha and which are the practices will be done under manomaya kosha. So meditation and relaxation techniques are more helpful in treating respiratory problems which are associated with stress and distress. So relaxation techniques are very important in treating respiratory problems and also associated with stress and distress. So which are the relaxation techniques available in yoga? So mind sound resonance technique, self management of excessive tension, cyclic meditations, deep relaxation techniques, instant relaxation techniques, and yoga nidra. So these are the procedures, these are the relaxation techniques which will come under manomaya kosha, so as a relaxation techniques. So now meditation, omkara meditation, transcendental meditation. So transcendental meditation includes chanting mantras, omkara meditation. So these are the two meditation techniques which are done to prevent COVID-19 infections. Next one is Vijnanamaya kosha. So knowledge about the disorder and its management is necessary in treating the disorder. So Jnanamaya Kosha is very important. So knowledge, you should know about what is COVID-19, what are the signs and symptoms of COVID-19. So then only we can treat. So treating through koshas is very important. So the under this Vijnanamaya Kosha is one of the important, that is knowledge about the disorder and its management is very important in treating disorders. Next one is Anandamaya Kosha. So in Anandamaya Kosha, in order to get bliss, that is bhajans, prayers. So bhajans and prayers will help in spiritual growth, which ultimately leads to the Ananda, that is a state of bliss. Anandamaya is a state of bliss, that is sense of contentment. So these are the 5 koshas, and which are the practices to be done under various koshas. So next, integrated yoga module to combat COVID. So what are the breathing practices will be done? So I will show you the pictures also in next slide. I will just read out what are the breathing practices and loosening exercises. So hands in and out breathing, ankle stretch breathing, tiger breathing, rabbit breathing, dog breathing, straight leg raise breathing, back stretches, tiger stretch, and yoga chair breathing also very important techniques. So loosening exercises like Pavana Muktasana Kriya and Surya Namaskara. Surya Namaskara is one of the important procedure which is done before the yoga practice. So that is integrated yoga module for combating COVID. Next is yoga asanas. Which are the asanas should be performed? That is Ardhakati Chakrasana, Padasthasana, Ardha Chakrasana, Vakrasana, Ardha Matsyendrasana, Bhujangasana, Shalabhasana, Sarvangasana, Matsyasana. And last we can do deep relaxation technique in order to relax our whole body after the practices. So these are the integrated module for combating COVID-19 infections. So next you see this is the yoga protocol for primary prevention of COVID-19. Primary prevention of COVID-19. So what are the objectives here? To improve the respiratory and cardiac efficiency, to reduce stress and anxiety, and also to enhance immunity. So these are the 3 important aims and objectives of yoga protocol in primary prevention of COVID-19. So these includes, yoga protocol includes maybe prayer, loosening practices, next stage asanas, sitting asanas will be there, prone lying asanas, supine lying asanas, kriyas, and pranayama. So these are the yoga protocol. This is one of the yoga protocol for preventing COVID-19, that is primary prevention. So first, loosening exercises, neck bending, shoulder movements, trunk movements, knee movements. So all these are the loosening practices which is done before going to asanas. So asanas which helps are Tadasana, Padasthasana, Ardha Chakrasana, Trikonasana. So these are the standing asanas which helps in opening of chest and improves lung capacity. And also sitting asanas you can see here, Ardha Ustrasana, Shashankasana, Uttan Mandukasana, Simhasana, Marjarasana, Vakrasana. So these are the sitting asanas. Next one is prone lying asanas. There is Makarasana and Bhujangasana are the prone lying asanas which opens your chest and chest region, which helps in expanding our chest. And supine lying asanas such as Setu Bandhasana, Uttan Padasana, Pavana Muktasana, Markatasana, and Shavasana. So kriyas includes Neti, Sutra Neti, and Jala Neti, which prevents infections. And also pranayamas, Nadi Shodhana pranayama, you can perform 5 rounds, Surya Bedana pranayamas, Ujjayi pranayama, Brahmari pranayama, Dhyana, and Shanti, that is bhajans. So this is the yoga protocol for primary prevention of COVID-19. I will just show you pictures also to know better what is hand stretch. Now I will go for ankle stretch breathing. You can see ankle stretch breathing. Stand in sthiti, legs together, hands by the side of the body. So when you inhale and raise your both hands above your head, so along with your heels, you should take both the hands above your head and also heels, that is ankle stretch breathing. Next one is hands in and out breathing. So stretch your both arms in front of your chest and separate your both the palms sidewards above up to the shoulder level, that is hands in and out breathing. So that is the ankle stretch and hands in and out breathing. This is hand stretch breathing. Hand stretch breathing, interlock your both the fingers and you have to stretch in front of your chest just above the level of the neck and just above your head. So this is the hand stretch breathing. So that is very important in COVID-19 infections. Next, sectional breathing. So very important here is sectional breathing. So clavicular, there are three types of breathing, that is clavicular breathing, thoracic breathing and abdominal breathing. Clavicular breathing, where you can breathe like a collarbone should go up. We should take our collarbone up and we have to inhale and exhale. Chest should expand in thoracic breathing. And in case of abdominal movements, so abdomen breathing should be there, that is when you inhale, abdomen should go when you inhale, abdomen should come out, and when you exhale, abdomen should sinks in. So that is the sectional breathing, three sections of breathing. So very important, sectional breathing. So this is tiger breathing. Tiger breathing, you have to make a concave shape, that is spine. When you inhale, you have to raise your head and neck above, and while exhaling, bend forwards and chin should touches your chest. That is tiger breathing. You have to inhale and make it concave spine. You have to raise your head and neck above, and also while exhaling, bend downwards, chin should touches your chest. So this is tiger breathing, which helps in increasing our breathing capacity. Next is Tadasana stretch, Tadasana breathing. So this is same way. So legs together, hands by the side of the body, and interlock your fingers and stretch above your head along with your heels. That is Tadasana stretch and breathing. So next is chair yoga. What is chair yoga? So some people cannot perform in standing position, so they can go for chair yoga, that is chair Surya Namaskara, 12 steps. So first there will be a Namaskara pose, then you have to take both hands above your head, that is Hasta Uttasana pose. Then you have to bend forwards, then you have to take your bend at your right knee joint and stretch your back along with your head. So later you have to try to touch your forehead to the knee joint and release your knee joint and go for Hasta Uttasana. Next again same, you have to come for like Pada Hastasana, you have to touch your forehead to the both the knees. Then later you have to lift your left leg and bend at your left knee joint and hold it with the help of your both the palms and stretch back and look back. And you have to bend forwards, exhale and bend forwards and try to touch your forehead to the knees. And again stretch, that is Hasta Uttasana. Again bend forward, exhale and bend forwards, Pada Hastasana, again Hasta Uttanasana. Then come to prayer posture, that is Namaskarasana. So this is the 12 step chair Surya Namaskara, which can be performed in preventing COVID-19 infections. So next, which are the asanas can be done? Ardha Chakrasana, this is called as Ardha Chakrasana of wheel pose. Next one is Trikonasana, that is triangle pose. Next we can perform Ardha Ustrasana, Shashankasana. In Shashankasana there will be complete inhalation and complete exhalation will be there. So Shashankasana is like a relaxation technique. So then Makarasana and Bhujangasana. Bhujangasana is a cobra pose which opens your chest and helps in improving our lung capacity. Next we have to perform Setu Bandhasana. It is a bridge pose. We have to lie down in Shavasana, that is lying position. Then lift your abdomen, chest and hip region. Then you can maintain a bridge pose, that is Setu Bandhasana. Next one is Uttan Padasana, the raised leg pose. Uttan Padasana, that is the raised leg pose. Next, you can also perform Pavana Muktasana. So, a supine posture, then lift your both the legs, uh, and bend at your knee joint and try to touch your forehead to knee joint. That is Pavana Muktasana. Next one is Padahastasana. Try to touch hand to the foot. That is Padahastasana, Simhasana, and Markatasana. So these are the asanas which helps in these are the asanas which used in primary prevention of COVID-19. Next is Uttan Mandukasana. Uttan Mandukasana. You have to sit in Vajrasana. Then you have to separate your both knee joints and you have to keep both the palms opposite over your scapula. So that is Uttan Mandukasana. So that is Uttan Mandukasana. Next, we can perform Netis. Neti, that is Jala Neti and Sutra Neti. You know, you may be knowing. So that is Jala Neti, nasal cleansing. So nasal cleansing is Jala Neti and Sutra Neti. So here in Jala Neti we use lukewarm saline water. We have to pour in one nostril and it will come in another nostril. So that is Jala Neti. So Sutra Neti, you have to insert a sutra inside your nostril and we have to take it out from mouth. So that is Sutra Neti. Jala Neti and Sutra Neti are the very important techniques which helps in preventing these COVID-19 infections, which clears infections or any inhaling particles. When we inhale pathogens or any infected particles, this Jala Neti and Sutra Neti will helpful in clearing that pathogens which enters through the nose and mouth. So that is kriyas which are performed. Next is Vamana Dauti Kriya. Vamana Dauti Kriya is about drinking 1.5 liters of lukewarm saline water, and we have to fill the stomach through lukewarm saline water, and we have to spread the legs and also about 2 feet and bend the trunk forward and making angle of about 90 degrees to the ground. Now with the help of your middle 3 fingers of the right hand, tickle the back of the throat to vomit out all the water, which helps in cleansing. So that is Vamana Dauti Kriya, cleansing techniques. So these are the cleansing techniques which are used, that is Jala Neti, Sutra Neti and Vamana Dauti Kriya are the 3 cleansing techniques which will be used in prevention of COVID-19. Very important. So these are the yoga modules for preventing COVID-19 infections. Along with that, relaxation techniques are very important in order to reduce the stress, anxiety and depression. So now we'll go for naturopathy. I already told you. So what is nature cure? Which are the sources will be used in nature cure? That is earth, water, fire, air, space. So the 3 basic concept of nature cure is about accumulation of waste and toxic matter which inside the body will leads to disease, abnormal composition of blood and lymph which leads to infections, and lowered vitality. So when there is lower vitality or immunity, there will be a more prone to infections. So that is the 3 basic concept of nature cure says the cause for diseases. Next, so the approach of yoga therapy. So naturopathy. So naturopathy includes fasting therapy, diet therapy, sun bath, hydrotherapy and also yoga. So by performing all these therapies, there will be immunomodulation and anti-inflammatory markers and antiviral and conducive mental state. So all these are the important That's why naturopathy is a very important technique, that is alternative medicine which helps in prevention of COVID-19. When you perform this, it is used as a preventive measure. Why it is used as a preventive measure? It strengthens our immune system, enhance the mental capacity to cope up with stress. So many people are dying with stress, anxiety and fear, because when you get COVID-19, they will think they will become very fear, the phobia will be there. So way to enhance mental capacity, naturopathy and yoga is very important. Strengthens our respiratory system, may reduce incidence of new cases, and also integrated treatment plan includes which helps in enhance of pace of recovery improve mental support to combat anxiety and stress. So this is the schematic model of prevention and prophylactic strategy and possible outcomes of integration of naturopathy and yoga in preventing COVID-19 infections. So that is next. Naturopathy says Panchatantra. It says Panchatantra, we should eat 2 meals a day, we should drink more than 3 liters of water a day, exercise is compulsory, that is exercise daily 1 hour, prayer twice a day, fasting once a week. So these are the 5 important Panchatantras naturopathy says in daily we have to adopt in our daily life. Then only we can prevent all the type of infections, not only COVID-19. So next, so what are the symptoms we face? Fever. So in case of fever, we have treatment like wet sheet pack, which helps in detoxification. So waste and toxic materials will be wiped up, that is wet sheet pack. Cold compress, we can cold compress to the abdomen and head, and also enema should be given, and prolonged cold rubbing, short arm on foot bath, and also fasting with fruit juices. So fasting is very important in order to detoxify your body. So fasting with fruit juices will help in preventing infection and also to treat infections. So that is fasting with fruit juices. That is fasting with fruit juices. So wet sheet pack, cold compress, prolonged cold rubbing, also short arm and foot bath, fasting with fruit juices. So next, headache is more common in case of infections. So hot foot immersion is one of the important treatment to reduce headache. Arm bath, hot arm baths, acupressure points, enema will also be helpful. Breathe concentration and breathing exercise. When you do proper pranayama or breathing with concentration and awareness, it will help in reducing headache. That is also grape juice. Nausea and vomiting. If you are having nausea and vomiting, you can give ice cold compress to abdomen, ice cold water sipping. Next, and if there is any acidity or burning sensation of epigastrium, we can go for ice cold water sipping, ice cold compress to abdomen, and also coconut milk we can give. So these are the treatments. Next, sore throat. When you have sore throat, very important, everyone is practicing this in home nowadays. So salt water gargling, neutral throat pack, facial steam, hot arm bath, and milk with turmeric. Turmeric milk is very important, that is anti-inflammatory. Hot honey water or tulsi water. So these are the very important techniques, home remedies, which will be done in your home in case of sore throat. So next, in acute pain and all will be there in post-COVID complications. So acute pain, prolonged cold applications, you can give ice massage, and breathe concentration is very important. In case of chronic pain, so prolonged hot application will helps to reduce chronic pain. So that is alternate hot and cold applications will also helpful. So that is about chronic pain. So next we go for breathlessness. Chronic pain. Next is breathlessness. So breathlessness is one of the important signs and symptoms of COVID-19. So upright position of the patient is very important. So prone lying is very important. Sometimes prone in most of the COVID patients we advise prone lying. So that is hot foot immersions, and also hot back to dorsal spine, hot arm bath, facial steam, so hot water sipping, and asthma bath. So these are the baths which used in case of breathlessness. So very important in case of breathlessness. So that is about breathlessness. If you go for indigestion and bloating abdomen, so this is common when you get fever or any infections. So indigestion and bloating abdomen is common. So warm enema we can give, hot water sipping, and also alternate cold hot compresses over the abdomen. And also you can give buttermilk with asafoetida and also pineapple juice, which will be helps in indigestion and bloating abdomen. So next, running nose and stuffy nose and facial steam. So this is very important. Facial steam with tulsi or neem, you can use facial steam. So hot foot immersion and hot arm immersion. So these are also used in case of running nose and stuffy nose. You have to remember here is facial steam with tulsi or neem. So that is very important in preventing infection. So loose motion is it's also one of the symptom of COVID-19. You can give boiled apple, and you can drink more water pomegranate skin juice is also very important. Cold abdominal compress also important in case of loose motion. So next one is constipation. So constipation, alternate hot and cold compress. So warm enema you can give. Milk with raisins and dry figs, raw vegetable salad, orange and yellow color fruits. So water with fenugreek powder. So water with fenugreek powder is one of the important remedy for the constipation. And isabegal, you can give isabegal husk for the constipated patients. Next one is last one is diet therapy. So micronutrients is very important, that is vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin D have a very important role in optimizing our immune system. So vitamin C helps in protection against infections by phagocytic accumulation and generation of reactive oxygen species. Next one is vitamin C, so which helps in enhance T cell activation. So these are the micronutrients which helps in fight against various infections. And vitamin D also is one of the another highly recognized micronutrients. So sunbath in naturopathy, sunbath plays an important role in getting vitamin D, that is main source. So it is 125 dihydroxy vitamin D3, the active form of vitamin D, which is responsible for the calcium metabolism and immune system functioning. That is again obtained by sunbath, that is diet therapy. Vitamin D, so in diet therapy you can remember vitamin C, E, D is very important. So next you can use some spices in your home, that is curcumin, which boosts immunity, which boosts up our immunity and helps to fight against infections. So it suppresses various inflammatory molecules which are responsible for the causes of the damage by the viruses. So last you can use garlic, is one of the important which helps in the immune system to fight germs. So contains allicin, the compound turns into allicin, the main active ingredient of garlic. So garlic is also helps in against fighting with germs, that is garlic. So we see some research articles. So they say explore the therapeutic benefits of pranayama, that is yogic breathing. So yogic breathing are very important in giving desired therapeutic benefits in case of COVID-19 various infections. So it helps in physiological and psychological benefits. So both the physiological and psychological benefits will be given by this type of pranayama, that is yogic breathing. Next one is the effect of yoga breathing on exercise tolerance in patients with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It is a randomized controlled trial. So a pranayama was associated with improved exercise tolerance in patients with COPD. So this is one of the important research article, that is pulmonary rehabilitation. So pulmonary rehabilitation which improves exercise tolerance in patients with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That is very important here is pulmonary rehabilitation. So that is with patients, COPD patients, to improve the exercise tolerance in COPD patients, pulmonary rehabilitation is very important. So effect of pranayama on test anxiety and test performance. So when you observe for the effect of pranayama on test anxiety and test performance in educational settings, pranayama seems to a very significant positive effect against anxiety and test performances. So it can be used as an important technique by students who are going prior to their examinations, that is which improves test anxiety and test performance. Next one is neurophysiological effects of yogic breathing in breathing techniques. So it says overview of research relating to the neurophysiological effects of yogic breathing. The techniques like Ujjayi, Bastrika, Kapalabhati and Anuloma Viloma pranayamas are very important in utilizing this neural plasticity to bring about sustained changes in the structure and function of the brain. So very important. So the efficacy of synaptic transmission and neurotransmitter profile may be changed here. So by practicing breathing techniques, the efficacy of synaptic transmission and neurotransmitter profile may change. So that is why neurophysiological effects of yogic breathing is very important. Last one is integrated approach of yoga and naturopathy alongside conventional care, a need of our healthcare. So by integrating approach of yoga and naturopathy, so yoga module for primary prevention of COVID-19 and also the naturopathic home remedies which helps in preventing various infections, not only COVID. So the integrated approach of yoga and naturopathy is very important alongside with conventional care. So avoid practicing deep forward fold. So in COVID-19 infections, there will be infection, so the lung capacity will be decreased during infection. So when you are performing any deep forward or deep backward bending, you should take care. So you should avoid practicing if there is infection is more in only mild and moderate in symptoms you can perform, but in severe infections it's very difficult. So I hope everyone uh, got about the topic role of integrated approach of yoga therapy and naturopathic intervention in combating COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you everyone, and I also thank Dr. Hemalata, Professor and Dean, Crescent University, and coordinators for giving me such an important opportunity to explore myself. And once again, I thank all. Thank you.